Guten Tag, everybody. I just got back from a quick hiatus over in Cold War West Germany, and where I got some gaming done, because I've been kind of out of it for a few weeks because of, well, storm and illness. So I had to refresh my batteries. And I got some gaming in, and like normal, I was told to stop doing a few things. So the last time I read off this list, I stopped at 2,563. Well, I've added some more to it, and I've got to finish this. So let's get started. And if you're one of my DMs, like Wally, Kevin, AJ, Jason, Marion, Sophie, you might recognize a few. So let's go. 2564. Even if it was a real form of performer in the Middle Ages, my bard can't be a flatulist. No, the Dungeon Master doesn't need a demonstration. As a matter of fact, Guillermo the ironically iconoclastic Rio Fuerte bearded lizard doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. One bard in a party is normal. 4 is highly unusual, especially if we all ask about the prices of straw hats. Can't elbow drop the Chaos Space Marine from orbit. It's not my fault I can wreck the world's economy immediately after character generation. I have to pay my ship's crew in something more than just glamour shots gift certificates. Even if my Highlander did max out strength and take the large advantage, I still can't have caber chucks. I can't detect the mimic by putting on copious amounts of cologne and waiting to see which piece of furniture starts gagging. The blink dog no longer gets a vote if the blink dogs no longer get a vote if the Displacer Beast cub is named Nummy Num Nums. If we have more prisoners than rope in the middle of a dungeon, can't make some of the goblins trustees. Even if the DM does not possess the dance skill, they are still a valuable choice for the friends advantage. Even if the rules allow it, I can't use crew members as space anchors. If the GM says my Royal Marine can't goad all the Martians into attacking just him, I can't prove him wrong by making a crack about his mum. Doing an Alan Rickman voice in character in-game is allowed, unless it's his fake American accent from Die Hard. The maximized amplify spell does not ensure my bard can be heard on all adjoining continents. My Asimir will stop annoying the tiefling with constant tales of growing up with a loving family and still having a healthy relationship with all of my parents and siblings. I will use my ability to summon my future self only for combat advantages and not for insider trading. I will remember we are not playing the video game version of the setting and stop trying to pay for everything with firearms. In the middle of the Black Ops, I don't have time to peel off all the labels from the food in the break room's refrigerator. In the middle of the Black Ops, I can't repeatedly put in the wrong password to log into everyone's computer, thus locking everyone out the next day. No matter how well I roll on my style check, I am not convincing the maitre d' that bloodstained clothing is an upcoming fashion trend. My combat shotgun has multiple fire selection options. Black in the Sky is not one of them. My gnome bard is forbidden from playing the drum solo of Migraine Relief. Even if the rules allow it, I can't have a belt-fed flamethrower. I will not confuse the Irish guy with the flamethrower with an accountant. I will stop trying to make cabbage golems a thing. It's the Geneva Convention, not the Geneva Suggestion. I will not name my elf cleric Elrond Hubbard. I can't play a Navajo code talker if no one else in the party speaks Navajo. No using a wish spell to make Right Said Fred bigger than the Beatles. My Gatling gun-wielding cowboy will not start the firefight with the battle cry, "Let's bluegrass!" If the word thermite appears anywhere in the cake recipe, I will lose all the points I put into the cooking skill. The next step after cleaning out the Big Bad's castle is not to set up a garage sale for all his furniture. Dwarves don't keep paladins in their minds like canaries to monitor the Balrog level while they dig. The words Vaseline and Gollum will not appear in the same line during any plan. Even if the rules allow it, I can't wipe out an entire Tau cadre by spitting on them. My Scottish Jedi cannot have a lightsaber. No breaking out the s'mores during the Viking funeral. My halfling will not let the elf fall to his doom, because his grappling hook is firmly embedded in my collarbone. Instead of berserking, my halfling barbarian doesn't go into a tizzy. I will remember that the Queen of Demons is now a reformed fairy queen, and not attack her on sight before she can start the introductory exposition. When the reformed Queen of Demons asks us if there are any questions after the introductory exposition, I will not ask her about any of the millions of deaths she's responsible for. Reminding her the last time I stopped by for a visit she had the time of her life is not going to make the Lady of Pain any friendlier this time around. When told to distract the bad guys, they didn't mean with a spontaneous magic mouth that does a mean cover of Jesus Built My Hot Rod. The Voight Comp test does not have a separate set of questions to test if you're a lesbian. We are not turning the plane hopping module into a game of charades because the author forgot to take the obvious language barriers into account. No combining the most dangerous elements of blister agents and wet towels. The solution to the unbreakable locked door is not just to move to the side and give the dwarf a spoon. Even if a party member fails to save against ghoul paralysis, Can't leave him in the middle of a town square as a human statue to try to raise a little extra gold. The lower deck armsmen would appreciate it if my rogue trader would stop referring to them as his battle chattel. I do not have a magical bottle that makes all my problems go away. I have a 15-point disadvantage called alcoholism. My Valhallan ice warrior will not show any sign of skepticism when told, Cadia stands. If my first wish to reunite Living Color is vetoed because I don't know who the band is, my second wish can't be to know who Living Color is. Just because Kryn lacks drow or orcs doesn't mean they've been fizzbanned. Multiclassing between Bard and Artificer is allowed until the 1812 Overture starts. Golden Corral gift certificates are not legal tender in the Five Shires. Trying to make a gimpy treant makes the DM question my alignment. Can't keep spending my share of the adventure on farmland until the DM notices I've purchased the entire kingdom. I have to buy more equipment for my starting gear than just gunpowder. I will not use the animal training skill to turn my cat into a backup singer for my NXS cover band. I will not pull out my Astartes squad if the Ultramarines show up because they're going to do all the cool stuff from here now. And lastly, I can't wager how many Shatter Kai it takes for my paladin to remove their curse before the Raven Queen takes it personal. So, that is now 2,625 things Mr. Welch can no longer do in a role-playing game. Try not to use it as a checklist. And until then, keep rolling them dice.